Hello, I'm Yan Simard. I'm the CEO of Kognitiv Spark.
What makes Fredericton an attractive destination for FDI?
Fredericton has a good mix of all the key ingredients to help a company get started, but also to help it grow. When it comes to talent, we have a very strong critical mass of tech talent, more specifically around cybersecurity. We have a lot of enterprise and industrial application companies as well around town. Small companies, large companies, and ones like ours that are specialized in industrial mixed reality and augmented reality. So there's really a good critical mass of talent. There's a great computer science faculty with the University of New Brunswick in town. And then we have all the support ecosystem which consists of what is done locally with the city of Fredericton and the different incubators that we have around town. We're also looking at the support that the province and opportunities New Brunswick can provide. And finally, the federal government is always there to support as well, especially when it comes to the growth phases of development. And what was traditionally a weakness is, I believe, getting better. And I'm talking about access to investment money, venture capital, and angel investment. I think that the region as a whole is getting better at it.
Are you able to assess the competitiveness of Fredericton's cyber, data, AR, VR, basically the topics that Kognitiv Spark focuses on? Let's say today, how would you gauge basically Fredericton's competitive advantages and overall competitiveness?
If I talk about security, it's becoming a huge industry in itself, and of course, it's spread all around the world. So the region doesn't have monopoly on cybersecurity, of course, but at the same time, there are a few players that I think are already very important, and presumably are getting even more important going forward. So I think we're seeing some of that. I would definitely say that the region is in sync with the growth of cybersecurity globally. When it comes to augmented reality and mixed reality, that's a bit the same. So that's an industry that is growing very fast. It's probably a bit smaller in size at the moment, but then you have companies in the region that are doing pretty good in that field. That includes Kognitiv Spark. I think we're at the forefront of what is being done in industrial mixed reality use cases. There are also other companies that are doing very well within the mixed reality field. And some are exploiting or serving different use cases. So I think we're getting to the point where we're kind of building a bit of a critical mass around AR, MR, and VR in the region. And we're definitely open to sharing and collaborating with those companies as well. So hopefully we'll be able to establish the region as a hotspot globally for mixed reality and AR, VR.
Of course, Fredericton is known for University of New Brunswick, so it is a university town, if I can put it this way. But what do you know of the let's say the city, the municipality, or perhaps the universities or others? What are they doing to try to continue basically building that pipeline of talent?
I think what's nice is that there are a variety of options and assistance programs that are being run by an equal variety of organizations. So you have many incubators. You have a space if you want to start a company quickly, and you just need desks for 2 or 3 people and a place to work in. You can probably find that quite easily, fast, and rather cheaply as well. All kinds, of course, of startup assistance and incubation programs are available. UNB is also quite involved in running its own programs. And then you have the different levels of government that have funding assistance programs, marketing assistance programs, sales assistance programs. So really, it's I think that for any any clever entrepreneur, you just pick and choose what makes sense for you, and there's a variety of options in the market.
Another thing that's important, of course, to develop the development of any sector today in any economy is innovation. And I realize by now the word innovation has become a buzzword. And so we have to perhaps clarify, talking really about R&D, about, development of new technologies, research. And as I said, we know Fredericton is a university city. So I'm wondering how you gauge the city's innovation ecosystem.
So to be successful, a company needs many ingredients, and we don't necessarily find those ingredients in one single shop. And I think that's how we have to approach the Fredericton ecosystem. So you can get all kinds of assistance on the R&D side, on the running the business side, or building the business side, on having a good physical space where to put the team. So there are many ingredients like that. Now, when it comes to R&D, I think where I see the region maturing a bit is that a few years ago, if you had any kind of web development company, you were referred to as an innovation company. I would strongly debate that. A lot of it has been commoditized over time. For me, innovation is probably synonymous with hard science as well. So you need hard science that is useful. If anybody can replicate it quickly, it's probably not hard science. And I would argue it's probably not that innovative. So the ability of the region to generate hard science, scientific and technological advancements, I think is improving. And of course, the university and community college system is at the core of it. We talk a lot about UNB and University of St. Thomas in Fredericton. There's also the University of Moncton in Moncton, obviously. So there are many players that make up the ecosystem, and I think there's an increased recognition that you just can't put together a web portal and call it an innovation company. So I see that the region is maturing and is probably more selective when it comes to where it puts its investment money.
If you were talking to foreign investors right now, perhaps, an assembly. You remember in the old world when we met people in crowds, and what would you put forward as some of the incentives or some of the investment support that is available in Fredericton/New Brunswick from either the local, provincial, or even the federal government or agencies?
I think we have a great breeding ground for small and medium businesses. We live in a place where it's easy to talk to pretty much anybody, including the top government officials in the region. We rarely get told that we can't talk to somebody, which is quite the norm in bigger centers. So I think it gives the region a very unique strength. Now, of course, we're also limited by a smaller population. So when it comes to very, very large players, there might be constraints that they have to consider when it comes to staffing, office locations, and so on. So that's probably the caveat to it. But it's also the strength on the small and medium businesses side. Really, I think it's a great place where to grow a company to the point where it becomes a real multinational company.
Any final thoughts on, again, positioning Fredericton, New Brunswick, and Canada's economy internationally? How we can attract more investment, more talent?
I think we're very blessed in Canada with having a fairly good reputation globally. So we can talk to companies all across the world, and nobody's going to think bad of us because we're Canadian. So in that sense, if we compare that to our southern neighbors, unfortunately, their reputation is probably not as good as it used to be. And when it comes to market development in Europe in particular, and also in Asia, I believe that being a Canadian company is helping us quite a lot. Now, we also happen to be within a region in Canada that is probably an unknown gem, where we can grow very competitive businesses with the right conditions in a very cash efficient way to get going. And I don't see why this region would not see the birth of some of the most successful technology companies that Canada has seen so far.